All right, what's good, everybody? Let me pull down our music real quick. What's up, everybody? It's Logan from work. We are live at the CDC Games inaugural League Challenge, and it's going to be a doozy. We're starting off with Connor Murphy versus Benny Salazar. Connor's playing Zoroark. Benny's playing Catterday, meme deck that revolves around Pokemon that know the Catterday attack. But it's going to be a fun one today. We are just now getting into our Pokemon Premier events, cups, challenges, so we're excited to have those and just be able to have a little more going on for our players than just regular league tournaments. So we've got Benny getting set up to play. Lots of kitties out here. Getting set up. Let me get cards on screen for you guys here real quick. So the basic gist of Benny's deck is to get a bunch of little Pokemon out that know the Catterday attack. And then there's a Persian that just came out in this Unbroken Bond set. I say just came out. We're getting ready for Unified Minds now. It's been a minute, but anyway, this ability, Gathering of Cats, got it up on the screen for you guys here. Gathering of Cats, any Pokemon with the Catterday attack doesn't need any energy to use any of their attacks. So not just the Catterday attack, but any actual attack that the Pokemon would have, as long as it knows Catterday, doesn't have to have any energy. And so Esper and Meowstic and Purugly and Purloin, all that stuff. Any Pokemon with Catterday can attack for free. So his deck actually doesn't run any energy at all. So we've got a spell tag come down on the Esper. And pretty quick, Benny's Wondrous Labyrinth is out of play in favor of Connor's Devoured Field. So Connor's deck, classic Zoroark. It does have a little bit of a buff from the new Persian GX, which basically it has an ability which it's a free teammates every turn. If your GX gets knocked out, search your deck for 2 cards, put them into your hand. It's just it's a pretty crazy new card. Goes into Zoroark well. Zoroark draws quite a bit, so it's a welcome addition to a deck that already has a lot going for it. He's also got Lycanroc in there, the classic partner for Zoroark. Adding a few cards to the list here. As usual, Benny's got a meme deck here. Let's see. Don't have all the cards in his deck. Benny, Resident Meme Lord. Glameow, not Purloin. I had said Purloin earlier. It does not have Catterday. But Glameow does. There we go. There it is. And we never know what Benny's going to be attacking with, so I'm just going to make sure we've got them all out here. Just a quick update for the League Challenge format. It is a best of 1, so each player only gets 1 game to make their deck go off. I forgot about another addition to Connor's deck. Aside from Persian GX, he's got Silvally GX. Now with triple acceleration energy, it's a much more viable attacker with that 3 energy cost, and with stuff like Water Memory, Fighting Memory, it's a great counter to a lot of the meta with Pikarom and the Zoroark Mirror being weak to fighting, Reshizard being weak to water. There's just a lot of things that this Silvally deck can do right. But we got both guys setting up.
Do I hit start round on that thing to input results?
Yes.
Okay.
We got CC popping in to help run the tournament. Just some stuff going off, but Connor going off here on turn 1, attaches the ECE to type null just so he's got that Silvally ready to go next turn. Back to Benny. He's going to play the escape rope. Connor's just going to pivot those Zaruas. He's going to go into a Litten who can attacks for the most. We've got the Pokegear 3.0. Benny going to look at the top 7 cards, try to find a supporter. Does not get it. Goes ahead and just Cynthia's instead. Imagine he was probably going to try to Guzma up that Ditto had he hit on the Pokegear, but no such luck. So Benny going in with that Litten. Litten, of course, does have the Counter Day attack. Attacks for 60 damage. Out of the basics in the deck, that does the most turn 1 damage. So let me get that up for you. And we've got an Ultra Ball coming down. Probably searching out that Persian. The deck just runs around it. With that Gathering of Cats ability, he needs that to be in play in order to use this Catterday gimmick. He's got Litten ready to go with Big Bite. Gonna take a knockout on this Zorua. It's gonna be real important for Connor to stay ahead on this prize game. Since Benny only has 1 prize attackers, and Connor's deck is comprised completely of 2 prizers aside from the Alolan Muck that he runs to shut off basic abilities. So the Oranguru that Benny has in play will not be able to draw him cards. Let me find that Silvally GX real quick. There it is. Shout out to PokemonCards.com. That's where I get my high quality images of all these cards. They do awesome work. It's a complete database of every card ever released in the Pokemon trading card game. Just a super cool thing they do. Water Memory coming down. Going to take a 1-hit knockout on this Litten either way, but now he gets to hit for some weakness. Who doesn't love that? But Silvally hitting the board with the Water Memory. Benny losing that Wondrous Labyrinth early is going to be important. Wondrous Labyrinth makes all non-fairy attacks cost 1 more energy. Of course, he gets past that with Gathering of Cats, since his attacks don't cost any energy. But having the extra energy requirement for Connor would really swing this game. So losing that early is going to hurt quite a bit. But we've got a knockout coming from Connor here. Benny going to have to find a way to respond pretty quick. Ultra Ball coming down from Connor. Since a lot of Benny's Pokemon have such low HP, Connor's going to be in the 1-hit knockout range almost all game. So finding ways to take knockouts is going to be big for Benny. He'll have Esper essentially doubles the amount of damage counters on a Pokemon. Meowstic swings for 70, I believe, and then makes it does 70 to a Pokemon EX or GX, and then Perugly swings for 70 and makes the opposing Pokemon's weakness Psychic the next turn. So there's ways that Benny can get out here and do some big damage. He's just going to have to hit the stuff he needs to make it happen. Connor getting the Alolan Muck into play, shutting off all basic abilities. So Oranguru no longer has any effect for Benny. Is going to need to find a way to pull up that Alolan Muck pretty quick so he can turn his Oranguru back on. So we've got a knockout on the Litten. Connor goes down to 5 prizes. Benny already at 5 prizes himself. Let me get that caught up on the screen for you. It would not be a Logan from Work live stream if I did not miss a trigger on these on-screen graphics. So try to stay on top of that for you guys as best I can. Benny promotes the Persian. It has free retreat. So aside from being a clearly busted ability, it's a busted card in general. It does not have the Counter Day attack, so it can't attack. But with free retreat, he can just promote it and then pivot down into something else. It gives him some outs early on in his turn. Does not hit on the Pokegear 3.0. Has the Rescue Stretcher. Gonna probably go for the Esper. It has a lot of damage output. Opting to put the Litten back on the bench. As a basic, it does the most damage, and he can double those damage counters late in the game if he needs to. He's going to Erica's Kindness for 5 extra cards in his hand. Going to have some extra stuff to do here. See, he does have a Choice Band. Ultra Ball, going to go ahead and get the Meowstic, I believe. Yep, evolves up into the Meowstic. Has the spell tag on the Meowstic, so he'll get to add 40 damage to whatever Pokemon he wants if he gets knocked out. Retreats the Persian, just goes up into the Meowstic. That Perplexing Eyes, it does 70 damage, and then the defending Pokemon's weakness is going to be 70 Psychic until the next turn. So if he can stay on that Silvally, he'll have getting the spell tag Field Blower, loses the Water Memory, gonna Lily. Lily for Fresh Hand of 6. Gets another Zoroark in play. Gets the Persian GX in play. So Connor hitting his evolutions fairly easily here, turn 2. Now has access to the trades with Zoroark. We see him drop in a Fighting Memory, draw a couple of extra cards. Has a TCE in hand, so we'll be able to start Vengeance with Persian GX late in the game if he needs it. So we've got a knockout on the Meowstic. Benny does not get the extra buff from that spell tag. Hits another one. So Connor running 1 Field Blower. Won't be able to Field Blower this next spell tag. So Benny gets a little bit of a buff. Going to Guzma in the Alolan Muck. And then takes a knockout on the Persian GX. So leaving Connor kind of stranded here with the Alolan Muck in the active. Connor at 4 prizes, Benny going down to 3. So able to somehow stay ahead in this prize race. Connor kind of stuck, has the Guzma in hand, so we'll be able to get out of this Mucklock kind of situation. But I imagine when he plays that Guzma, he'll be Guzma down the Persian. Probably Guzma down the Persian, take out that Gathering of Cats ability. He does have access to the Persian GX's ability, will be able to search his deck for 2 cards, try to stay ahead on this. Has the DCE in hand. May opt to just play it on the other Zoroark. Yep, there he goes. Trying to figure out which trades he's used. Guzma's down the Persian. So we'll have we'll be able to take a prize and shut that ability off for Benny. He'll have to find a way to turn that ability on next turn. Looks like he has another Persian in hand. Benny, I believe he's using the Persian GX's ability. Searching the deck for a couple cards, putting them into his hand. I believe with 4 bench Pokemon, he is doing 100 exactly to this Persian, which is what he'll need to take that knockout. Let me throw that up for you guys. Keep up with the stream, and then Connor is on Zoroark. So he does knock out the Persian. Benny gonna have to turn this ability back on. Does it? Has the Persian, has the Meowstic. Guzma's down the Alolan Muck. Gonna knock it out. Go down to 2 prizes. Still staying ahead of the game.
Kitties are good.
Kitties are good, John. We've got John in here with us. Got the bye this round after winning 2 tournaments in a row. So John already has technically 1 win under his belt, and can take his 3rd tournament in a row with just 3 easy best-of-1 wins, playing Lost March. So definite possibility for our boy John today.
I have 0 faith.
John has 0 faith, but we never know, do we? So John gets up to Silvally GX, or Conrad gets Silvally GX. Guzma's up the Catterday Persian again, and takes a knockout to go down to 2 prizes. Benny promoting, can't tell what that one is. Let me look back at my list. Glameow, that's what it is. Benny promoting the Glameow. Gonna have to get a Persian back into play somehow so he can use that free attack. Let me pull it up. As usual, don't have all of Benny's cards. Resident Meme Lord. Oh, I do have a Glameow. See, I saw this coming.
I mean, yeah. He's been talking about Catterday for like...
He has. I should have known better, but... Let's see. Pull it up. Glameow. Has that Boing Boing tail. Does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon EX or GX. Just has to find a way to hit off of this Cynthia. Oh, there we go. Hit the...
Yep.
Put the Ditto in the discard pile instead of the Lost Zone. We fix it. But yeah, Benny having to be able to draw a Rescue Stretcher, Persian, something off of this Cynthia in order to stay in the game. Connor being able to go down to 1 prize here would be a feels bad situation. And I don't think he hits it. Has the escape rope. Oh, puts a Shrine of Punishment out. So Connor's dark attacks no longer doing extra damage. Escape rope. See, Connor's got triple acceleration energy in hand, so whatever he promotes is going to be able to attack. Goes into the Zoroark. Benny going to have to decide which card to promote. Goes ahead and promotes the Oranguru. Connor not taking a one-hit knockout on it. Draws, evolves up into Zoroark. Gonna Palpad, a Guzma, and another Guzma back into the deck. He'll be able to Persian, keep getting all these cat puns mixed up. He'll be able to use Persian GX to get those back later. Well, no, he won't. Benny's at 2 prizes, so next GX knockout that Benny takes will be the game, so won't have access to that Persian ability again. But he can Lily into it to buy himself a turn later on, so... Oh, missing the shrine damage. Connor going to go ahead and put those boys on. The new Zoroark won't get that extra damage, but the Zoroark on the bench, the Silvally and the Persian will. Has Lily in hand, and then full access to all 3 of his trades. So Connor has a few outs here for sure. Attaches the TCE to Silvally and moves into... his Lily. Has a Marshadow in hand. Can get rid of that shrine, but won't turn on Riotous Beating. He'll have to bench the Lele and then just opt to get a supporter with it that he can't play. So that's never... He does have the Alolan Grimer, so he can maximize his damage output with that, but... and he does have Nest Ball, so he can... Oh, trades the Nest Ball. Okay. Trades into another Lycanroc. Nope, that's a Lele. Does bench the Lele. Going to go probably find himself a Guzma for next turn. And now can take a knockout on the Oranguru. Benny probably outside looking in on this game, whiffing on that Persian last turn.
Yeah.
It's looking like Connor's probably going to clean this one up. Retreats into the Silvally. Silvally able to take a knockout on this Oranguru. And then Shrine damage going to kick on for everybody. Promotes the Meowth. Needs to hit the Persian to even have a hope of staying in this game. And Connor goes down to 1 prize. Benny just weighing his options. Probably drops a spell tag on the Glameow. Plays the switch. Trying to pare down his hand. I think he has a Lily. Try to maximize the amount of cards he can draw here. Connor did discard the energy off of Silvally, but has the Guzma. He's going to counter Catcher in the Tapu Lele. Drops an Esper. Going to rescue Stretcher for the Persian. Turn that Gathering of Cats back on. But yeah, maybe too little too late. Just going to swing for 60 on the Lele. Connor's got Guzma for game.
Yep.
GG. Connor takes round 1. Benny whiffing that crucial Persian turn. But still fun times around here. Benny coming in within 1 knockout of taking down Zoroark with the meme deck. Connor just always hitting the gas for sure. Zoroark
It's good for that.
Yep, Zoroark, a super safe deck, easy to pilot, easy to knock out. So, easy wins when you come into a league challenge with an autopilot deck. But fun stuff. Connor taking himself a win, round 1. Benny not being able to get the gas out, but we'll be right back here in a few minutes with round 2. We'll have another sweet matchup for you guys. Until then, just take a minute, listen to some sweet lo-fi chill study beats, and we'll be back with you soon. Sit tight. Welcome back, everybody. Bring down the music for you. We are back. We've got, for round 2, Mia Moreno and Joseph Velez. Joseph's out here maining that Pikarom, and Mia's coming through with the Distilled Blast Gyarados. Mia's going first, starts the Alolan Vulpix, going to Brooklet Hill for what I suspect will be a Magikarp. Joseph gets that Zeraora start. Let's go. We'll throw that up on the screen for you. Trying to stay on top of that. Don't have a Alolan Vulpix in my Rolodex for some reason. Oop. Not Secret Alleyway. We're looking there. It is Beacon. Beacon Alolan Vulpix. Been with us since Guardians Rising. Will be rotating here at the rotation point in August. Hitting a little early this year. Gonna make Worlds a little more interesting for sure. Attaches Water Energy to the benched Magikarp and passes. Joseph, starting with the Zeraora. And there we are. Gonna Ultra Ball early on. Looks like he's gonna try to grab that Let Loose Marshadow. Also eyeing down that Zapdos. Trying to decide what he wants to do. Gets the Tapu Lele GX. Gonna go search the deck for a supporter. Probably go for a Lily or a Volkner right here. Goes for the Guzma instead of opting for the Lily or Cynthia. Puts it in hand. Goes ahead and plays the E-Power. Guzma's down the Magikarp. Comes in with the Tapu Lele. Plays the Coco and the Dedenne. And is just going to drop a new hand of 6. With that Daddy Charge ability. So hits the lightning energy, but probably could have set himself up a little more had he gone for a traditional draw supporter instead of the Guzma. But we'll have a chance to take out this Magikarp. But no, retreats down into the Dedenne. Oh, I see. If he has the Thunder Mountain, he can get an attack off here. Got a Nest Ball. Can't Nest Ball the Marshadow. Searching himself down a Zapdos. Trying to decide if he wants the Zapdos or the Pikarom. Checking the discard pile. Opts for the Zapdos. Easy 1 energy. Attacker here on the bench. Mia going for the cut. Gonna grab that Magikarp real quick if he doesn't end up knocking it out. does go ahead and knock out the Magikarp, gets the Thunder Mountain. So Mia come through with the Alolan Vulpix. We've got Crush Awake coming down. Discards 2 Water Energy. Gonna search for a couple cards. Gets the Brooklet Hill. So Joseph will lose that Thunder Mountain. And a Professor Elm's Lecture, so isn't going to get herself stuck with no bench. But will have to wait until next turn to play that Elm's Lecture, as she did play the Crash Awake this turn. So going to kick that, kick the Thunder Mountain, play the other Alolan Vulpix, and is going to Brooklet Hill herself up another Magikarp. And then goes for the shuffle. So, point of this deck, she wants to use that Distilled Blast Gyarados, reveal the top. Yeah, I'm no good at this part. 5 cards, I believe, and it does a bunch of damage for each energy found in the top 5 cards of your deck. And then you discard the cards that weren't energy and then shuffle the energy back into your deck. So late game, as more and more of your deck just becomes energy, you tend to do more damage with that. But Joseph does have that Dedenne GX in the active, so we're going to pull that up for you real quick. Dedenne GX. And then Mia will beacon and pass the turn. And Joseph did go down to 5 prizes. I am paying attention, I promise. Got the weakness policy there on the Zapdos just to chuck his hand down. Choice band on the Lele, just a kind of pair your hand down kind of moment. If you can't discard it, attach to something. Joseph weighing his options out here and does just go ahead and pass. So we got another Gyarados coming down. Gonna weigh her options here. Go ahead and draw for turn. Yep, did forget to do that. Couple Crusher Wakes in hand. Gonna discard 2 Water Energy with Crusher Wake. Searching down another Magikarp. And grabs a Guzma. Oh, she got the Magikarp with Brooklet Hill, and now she's Crusher Waking for a Green Search and a Guzma. So we'll have some important supporters to play later on in the game. But right now it's looking like needs to find a way to get into this Gyarados so she can start taking some knockouts. Passes to Joseph. Joseph top decking and trying to find a way to move forward in this game. Needs to find an energy to attack with the benched Zapdos. Needs to get out of this Dedenne GX. Came in the clutch early on in the game to knock out a Magikarp and put Mia behind a turn, but still just dead drawn here past to Mia. So having a hard time getting what he needs here. She has 2 Green Searches in hand, a Crash Awake, a Guzma, and a Professor Elm's Lecture. So having a hard time here because she needs the energy Gonna evolve up into another Gyarados. And then playing the Guzma. Gonna bring up the Tapu Lele GX. Oh, no, goes for the Tapu Koko GX, actually. So, Naked Tapu Koko GX, and it's a pass. Neither player able to hit the energy they need to start going off. Don't see this very often. Just each player kind of dead drawing. Mia going behind a turn with that Magikarp getting knocked out early. Just really hurt her, but in the same way, Joseph committing the only energy he's seen all game to the Dedenne has been rough on him as well. So hard times for both players, but seems like Joseph just another dead top deck. Mia hits an energy, so hopefully we'll be able to go off here pretty soon. Hits the energy on the Gyarados. We'll be able to attack this turn. We finally get an attack coming down, but before that, it looks like she's going to use that Brooklet Hill. Bring herself down another Magikarp. Always wants to have Gyarados is ready to go. Great thing about these non-GX Stage 1 decks, they're not liabilities sitting on that bench. So we got the Greens Search coming down. Or Greens Exploration, sorry. I was looking at a translation too long. We've got a Rescue Stretcher coming and a Guzma. So stacking the Guzmas up in her hand. Smart idea. Won't be able to use it this turn, but as the game goes on, it's never a bad thing to have Guzma in hand. The only thing she has to watch out for is the Marshadow coming down from Joseph, getting let loose out of all those critical cards. And then we're seeing a Distilled Blast. Hits 4 energy. 5 energy. So we'll be doing 180 damage to that Tapu Koko. And goes down to 2 prizes. So great job by Mia. Able to overcome a few turns of dead drawing and takes a prize. Loses a few resources in the process, but still able to jump ahead in this game. So Joseph still just looking like he's got a fairly dead hand there. Does have the opportunity to retreat out of the Dedenne GX, but there's nothing really on his bench that would be a better target for this Gyarados. Weighing his options, he really doesn't want to just top deck and pass, but maybe running out of other outs here. We may just get a feels bad pass from Joseph. We do. Top deck. Probably going to see another attachment to a benched Gyarados. Mia, after a few turns of dead drawing, is able to just keep things going. Plays the Greens Exploration. Going to search her deck for a couple of trainer cards. Another Greens Exploration. And great plays, just a thinner deck. She wants to be hitting straight energy when she goes for these Distilled Blasts. So the deck doing exactly what it's supposed to do for Mia after a few turns of dead drawing. And so we've got a Distilled Blast coming. We got 3, 6, 9, 12, 4. Oh, that's a knockout. Just a So mills herself a Gyarados, but goes down to 2 prizes. Just Mia hitting some absolute gas here in the late game. Able to thin her deck out of most non-energy cards. And with a benched Gyarados, it's hard to see that she doesn't just hit the gas this next turn. Finally getting a Lily. Finally hitting an energy for Joseph. But it may be too little, too late here just doesn't have the resources, wasn't able to get Pikarom going. As this is a Pikarom deck, we just retreat into the Zapdos, energy switch up to it, and we'll see 80 damage coming down and a nest ball. So finally getting some resources for this Pikarom deck for Joseph, but could be too little too late, as Mia has just absolutely gone off. Has Guzma in hand for what could likely be game. 80 damage, excuse me, coming down on the Gyarados. Let me get that Zap Dog put on the screen. So we've got 80 damage on the opposing Gyarados. Another one coming down. Has Guzma in hand, just needs to Guzma up the Tapu Lele and can win it here. Tapu Lele, Zeraora really can take her pick. So Tapu Lele gonna retreat into a healthy Gyarados, and yeah, just hits absolute gas and is gonna take knockout. Joseph getting ready to offer up the handshake. And that's a GG. Mia taking the game. Just not able to hit. We got Marcos in here chanting. Good game. Just Joseph not able to hit any energy. Just playing the whole deck there. Feels bad, but great job, Mia, coming in with Gyarados and just absolutely popping off late in the game. We'll be back with round 3 here pretty soon. Sit tight. We've got some chill lo-fi study beats for you to listen to until then, but we'll see you soon. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are still here at the June League Challenge at CDC Games. Round 3, we've got Sarah Marlowe versus last round's biggest surprise, Mia Moreno, popping off on Pikarom with Gyarados. We've got Sarah Marlowe coming in here playing Blounds, Blacephalon GX. And looking to be a crazy matchup. Of course, Gyarados has weakness, but Blounds has that crazy setup speed with Naganadel and Blacephalon just popping off for prizes. It'll certainly be a good matchup here for our round 3. Sarah and Mia both at 2-0. We'll throw the important cards up here on screen, let you look at them for a minute, and then we'll switch to what's actually in the active. But Gyarados versus Blacephalon on paper seems like it might not be a crazy watch, but you never know with these best of ones, man. As we saw last round, it all comes down to who can get the attacks off. Just it's a fun format, you know. That's why these meme or rogue decks can do pretty well. We've got Mia out here 2-0, hasn't had a bye or anything with Gyarados, so fun stuff. Mia will definitely want to try to prioritize attacking with her Naganadels because Blacephalon just is kind of an auto loss here. She'd just need to hit 3 energy off of a Distilled Blast to take a knockout. So, and of course we know she's capable of hitting more than 3 energy. We interviewed her between rounds. She's got 29 energy cards in her deck. So the odds of hitting on that Distilled Blast is pretty good. With cards like Crusher Wake and Green's Exploration, she just thins out the deck as time goes on. So she hits those energy for sure. But Sarah getting a quick read on Professor Elm's lecture, grabbing 3 Pokemon with 50 or 60 HP or less and putting them into her hand. So giving herself an opportunity to fill out her bench early on. We saw last round she got a Magikarp knocked out early and was behind a turn for most of the game. Retreating into the Alolan Vulpix, she'll be able to beacon this turn, grab a couple of Gyarados, and try to be ready for next turn. Sarah has a couple of Poipole out, will have opportunities to Naganadel and get a big Blound going. Blacephalon GX, if you don't know, has the affectionate nickname Blound. I never quite know why it's referred to as Blounds, but I believe it's clowns with the type B blood emoji inserted for the C, or it's balloons because he looks like a balloon or something. But we've got Blounds, Blacephalon, Cake Pop, Clown Man. I've heard Blacephalon be referred to as a great many things. So it's a good deck. It's fun to play. We've got a Naganadel coming down. Should be able to take a knockout on Alolan Vulpix with a attachment and a charge up. We're going to Mysterious Treasure, probably go get another Naganadel, I imagine. Doesn't have anything else in the deck she could get besides, I think, an Alolan Muck. But yeah, so Sarah trying to get set up, trying to pop off herself. Just it's definitely a race in these best of 1 formats. You just want to get as many knockouts put together as possible. But yeah, we've got a Lele coming down for a Cynthia. Just going to try to refresh that hand. Try to get another Naganadel out here. Possibly try to get a Blacephalon down, but want to be real careful when we play those Blacephalon, because just a poorly timed benching can result in a knockout. Gyarados can just take quick knockouts on Blacephalon. So want to try to prioritize attacking with these Naganadel, even though it's only swinging for, I believe, 60 damage. Let me go ahead and get those switched out and put on for you. That turning point does 80, and then if you have exactly 3 prize cards remaining, it does 80 more. So her max damage on Naganadel is 160. Heat Factory Prism comes down, draws 3 cards while discarding a fire energy. Trying to get as many fire energy in the discard as possible just so Naganadel can start charging up. Does go ahead and bench a Blacephalon. So we've got a charge up on both Naganadels, and we'll see a turning point for 80 to knock out the Alolan Vulpix. So I'll go ahead and leave the Gyarados up in the active there for you, as we'll see a knockout on the Alolan Vulpix, and Mia will just evolve up into it next turn. Sarah goes down to 5 prizes. As was the case with Joseph, just you want to take as many prizes as possible because Sarah only runs 1 prizers in this deck. So want to try to stay even on these prize counts. Attacking with Naganadel, trying to put herself in a position to not be knocked out, or not have her Blacephalon knocked out. Trying to only trade these 1 prizers is going to be big for Sarah throughout the matchup. Doesn't want to have the Blacephalon Guzma up. Wants to just try to take as many knockouts with Naganadel as she can. Gyarados has 150 HP, so we'll be taking 2 hit knockouts on Gyarados until she gets down to her turning point turn when she has 3 prizes, and we'll be able to swing for 160. So Heat Factory out of play. Mia comes back down with the Brooklet Hill, and we see a Distilled Blast. So 369, 120, 150. So yeah, we'll swing for 150. We'll take out that Naganadel. And Mia going ahead and taking a prize on her first Gyarados turn as well. So both players down to 5 prizes quick. Mia coming in with the Blacephalon. Needs to try to pop off here pretty quick, just so she doesn't have that Blacephalon knocked out immediately. Shuffles the water energy back into the deck. Gyarados, just such a dangerous deck, because once you get the deck thinned out, Distill Blast discards any card that isn't an energy, and then every card that is an energy just gets shuffled back into the deck. So with 29 energy in the deck, only a few of them actually hit the field of play. It's just a lot of... oh, just a second here. We've got a... All right, got that fixed up. Weren't quite on B-String turn yet, so we're Mia taking a look at what B-String does, but Sarah miscount the prizes there. Thought she took a GX knockout, or thought she took 2 knockouts, and didn't quite happen. So we've got the energy back in the deck and Ultra Balling. So easy fix. Just gotta get the deck, or get the game state back in order. Sarah going to Ultra Ball either way, so the deck order isn't too crazy. We've got a Marshadow coming down. We're going to let loose. Each player going to draw, shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 4 cards. So Mia trying to stack some trainer cards, Pokemon cards, non-energy cards in her hand. Sarah's just going to take the opportunity here to throw a few of them back into the deck, and just take the opportunity to have a few more cards in the deck for Mia that aren't energy, lower her chances of hitting the Distilled All right, we're back. Just taking care of a couple of housekeeping things, and we're going to see a Burst GX, discard a prize card. It is a fire energy, so she is going to get to attach it to Blacephalon. It goes down to 4 prizes. Oh, wrong player. Ooh, let me put Mia's prize back. Sorry, program never doing what I want it to. Anyway, so we've got a Burst GX from Sarah, discarding a prize card, and if it's a fire energy, you get to attach it to Blacephalon. So Mia going for the Crasher Wake, going to search out a Greens Exploration and a Gyarados. Probably just evolve that last bench sitting Magikarp up. Trying to thin her deck back out from the Let Loose. And does evolve the Magikarp sitting on the bench. Looks like they're trying to get something cleared up there. And so we're going to Distill Blast. Going to get a quick cut from that Crasher Wake. And then we're going to Distill Blast. We've got 1, 2, discard 3, so that will be a knockout. 4, 5, 6. So we've got 210 damage coming down. Mia goes down to 3 prizes. There we go. So Gyarados just continuing to go off. Manual attachment to Naganadel. We've got a Ditto Prism Star on the bench. And we're going to double Beast Ring. Getting the energy out of the deck. 3, 4. They're looking at something. Sarah's just going to go ahead and I am confused here. Stream, yeah, we've got so yeah, we did just get a scoop from Sarah. Yeah, just fire weakness, hard to keep up with Gyarados just ripping those knockouts. So did get another win from Sarah, or from Mia here. Sarah able to come in 2-0, still in the thick of it here at 2-1 for these sweet top 4 prizes at the June League Challenge at CDC Games. Gyarados popping off again. Just a crazy deck, a fun format where rogue decks, meme decks can still come in here and do well in this best of 1 format. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the sweet lo-fi chill study beats, and we'll be right back with our final round here soon. Y'all sit tight, and we'll see you here in a second. All right, we are back at the CDC Games June League Challenge. We are in the final match. We've got Marcos Martinez at 3-0 versus Mia Moreno at 3-0. We've had her the last 3 games. She has just ridden through the tournament on this Gyarados. So, good deck in this best of 1 format. Not a whole lot of answers to it. But we've got Marcos coming in with the Andrew Mahone's Pika Pads build. So we've got Marcos just going ahead and Dance of the Ancients. We're going to Tapu Koko, attach 1 energy to Zeraora. Energy switch onto the Pikarom. Now Marcos just has to hit attachment and lightning energy to be able to, attachment and Thunder Mountain Prism Star, to be able to full blitz next turn. Going first against this Stage 1 Gyarados deck is going to be pretty important. Seeing as Mia wants to get a lot of things set up, and starting with 4 cards is going to be kind of rough on her in this best of 1 format, where she's not going to have a couple of games to make up if she is to drop this one. So Meteoric Rise for Mia Moreno might come crashing down up against this Pikarom build. He hits the energy switch, Choice Band, E-Power. We've got a Alolan Vulpix energy for Mia, and Marcos passes. So she hits the Professor Elms. That's going to be huge for her. We've got Alolan Vulpix coming down. She'll be able to attach to the Magikarp and retreat. Wow, great let loose for Mia, top decking that Professor Elm's Lecture. Is going to be able to just grab 3 Magikarp, retreat into the Alolan Vulpix, and Beacon. Exactly what she wanted to do this turn. Pretty decent start for her for sure. We've got 1, 2... does she have the 4th Magikarp in deck? If she prized a Magikarp here, that might be kind of rough on her. And she gets the other Alolan Vulpix out. So, possibly prize the other Magikarp. Not sure, but still able to get her turn going. She'll be able to manually attach to this Magikarp and retreat it and Beacon for a couple of Gyarados. So, still able to get her her turn moving. Retreat up into the Alolan Vulpix. We'll bench another Magikarp. And she does bench the Mew, so that Tag Bolt GX is not going to take 2 knockouts. So we're going to Beacon, and she's going to grab a couple of Gyarados. Still has a lot going for her. Just a great turn 1 for both players. Marcos going first, wasn't able to get the full blitz off, but still is where he wants to be energy-wise. He's going to read that Gyarados real quick, going to shake in his boots for a minute for sure. The maximum damage output for this Gyarados is 240. So we're going to, if she's able to hit all 7 energy, we'll be taking knockouts on this Pikarom. He's going to Lily for 5, going to have a full hand of 6. Has the E-Power down, will be full blitzing for 180. He's got energy in hand. He just needs to be able to attach. But if he doesn't want to commit the 1 energy, he can attach to the Zeraora, but he's going to drop the Lele. Try to search out a supporter here. I'm going to take the Lily, Ultra Ball it away, along with an energy switch. Might be trying to go for another let loose Marshadow to get get those Gyarados out of her hand. Yep, we see it coming down. We're going to let loose again. Get the Gyarados out of her hand. Rough goings for Mia. He does still need to hit an energy now because he didn't attach to Pikarom before he let loose. So Mia, hard goings, not hitting that Gyarados, but isn't completely lost. Marcos just needing to hit energy in order to get ahead here. But that Tag Bolt, again, will not take 2 prizes because of that benched Mew. That Mew with the bench barrier ability, able to prevent anything on the bench from receiving damage. And he does hit the energy. And I have been forgetting the cards this whole time. So let me get that up for you guys. My bad. Just been so into these games for sure. But yeah, let me put the cards on screen for you real quick. Alolan, Vulpix, Pikarom. We will see that Pikarom go down here in a minute. Or the Alolan Vulpix, excuse me. Left card, right card. Boom. I'm a good producer, y'all. I promise. I really am. I really do try to be on top of this and get a good product for you guys. We are joined in the studio by Dan the Man.
Hi, guys.
There he is. So we are in the final match here. Mia has just been running the table with Gyarados today.
Go, Mia.
Against Marcos. But yeah, so Marcos does have energy in hand. We're going to order, does whip the order pad. We'll attach for turn, and we're going to end up full blitzing for a knockout on that Alolan Vulpix. So it all depends on what Mia got off of that let loose. Ideally, she hit, maybe a Crasher Wake or something like that, but really wants to pop off with an attack this turn, if she can help it. So Marcos going off with that full blitz attack. Going to attach 3 energy from his deck to one of his benched Pokemon. Just deciding where to put them. He knows he can't Tag Bolt to knock 2 things out because of that Mew. So he needs to attach to something that can probably attack. But he just goes for it. He's going to attach to the Pikarom and see what he can do. So Marcos just staying the course. Playing the deck like he normally would, and we're just going to see where it takes him. Mia going to drop the Brooklet Hill, search for probably an Alolan Vulpix, and just do the same thing. Beacon into a couple of Gyarados and see if she can't start going off here. And we're alone again, folks. It's just me and you. Back here in the back room at CDC Games, we keep the good stuff in the back. I am the good stuff for you guys tonight. Final round here. Marcos just taking a knockout on the Alolan Vulpix with a full blitz. And Mia's going to Guzma up the Tapu Lele and promote her Alolan Vulpix. And we're probably going to see energy attached. Nope, we're just going to Beacon. Beacon for a couple of Gyarados. And Marcos does only run 2 Let Loose Marshadow. So we know these Gyarados are not going to get let loose next turn unless Marcos were to Super Scoop Up or something like that. But we know he doesn't run the Super Scoop Up because he's playing Mahone's list from... believe it was the Madison Regional, I think, where he played the Pika Pads. So Guzma, he's going to bring up the Mew, and we're going to probably knock it out with a full blitz. And then he can Tag Bolt next turn, but attaches to the Zeraora GX, and we're just going to full blitz on the Mew for the knockout. So Marcos down to 4 prizes. Mia definitely wants to try to get herself going here. Draws another energy. Evolves up into a couple of Gyarados. Marcos just going to attach to the Zeraora on the bench. Weighing our options here. Marcos offering the cut after searching the deck for the energy. And we've got a pass from Mia. Six. Counting the energy on the Pikarom, making sure he can tag bolt for a pair of knockouts here. We're going to knock out the Alolan Vulpix and one of the Gyarados on the bench. Dealer's choice there. So Marcos going down to 2 prizes. Has just been able to control the tempo of this game while Mia has been trying to get set up. So Mia finally into a Gyarados. Turn 3 or 4 here, just trying to keep herself going. If she can hit a couple of rescue stretchers here, that'd be ideal. And we've got the Greens Exploration, so she does have an out into a rescue stretcher here if she wants it. We'll try to thin the deck out, try to get some Pokemon back in the deck. She's going to get a Crasher Wake. Second guessing herself. Gonna get the rescue stretcher definitely. Wants to have that that other Gyarados on the bench ready to go and another rescue stretcher. So gonna try to get her bench loaded back up and just try to take some knockouts, make the game competitive, and see what she can do. She can hit a Distilled Blast here for 240. Can take a knockout, so we just need to be sure she stays in the game. You know, she is able to hit that Distilled Blast for 240. She'll go down to 3 prizes, and then can try to clean up on that Zeraora late in the game. 1, 2, 3. Oh, does hit the Crusher Wake, so is not hitting a knockout, but is taking quite a bit of damage. So we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 150 on the Pikarom. So did not get a knockout. Marcos will probably go down to 1 prize next turn, hitting 150 exact Cs on this Gyarados. Not to mention the lightning weakness, even if he weren't hitting all the damage. So rough matchup for Mia, but still able to make the best of it. Staying competitive. Marcos able to control the tempo with some big knockouts and letting loose at the right time to disrupt Mia's hand. But we see a retreat come down into this Zeraora. And Zeraora will take the knockout on Gyarados here. Just gonna check out the rest of his hand, see if he can get this going. And he's going to Cynthia for a fresh hand of 6. Keep himself refreshed here. Has the Tapu Lele with 2 energy on the bench ready to go. Yeah, for sure trying to close the game out here pretty quick. Has been able to stay on top of things, knocking out the Mew, knocking out the Alolan Vulpix, able to knock out a Gyarados early on. And he's got the Zapdos there to try to clean up late game as well. So Mia does have outs. You know, if she can try to get things cleaned up here. Marcos going down to 1 prizes, but just a great game from both players. Just Marcos able to be in the right place at the right time with some key let looses, and Mia's going to Professor Elm's lecture, try to get some Pokemon out of the deck. Just maximize her Distilled Blast. But Marcos does have the Pikarom ready to go next turn. Just a bit too little too late for Mia, but had a lot of fun watching her just wreck shop with this Gyarados tonight. But as we've seen for a while, Pikarom is just too quick, too reliable. We didn't see it with Joseph earlier in the night playing a different build, but Marcos just able to make the deck do what it needs to do. Reliable deck. I said it earlier with Connor. Man, when you come in with a crazy reliable deck, knowing what you can and can't do, we've got a Distilled Blast for 3, 6, 9, 12, 150, 180, or another 150. So wasn't able to get the knockout on the Zeraora. Just those let looses were just a little too crazy. Keeping Mia away from her Gyaradoses for a little while, having to beacon 2 turns in a row, just wasn't what the deck wanted to do. And we're going to retreat into the Pikarom and clean up, take the last prize. So Marcos is going to win CDC Games' very first League Challenge. Great games tonight. It was a lot of fun watching Mia. We had a great turnout, a lot of fun decks played. I just love this best-of-1 format. You just never know what you're going to see, what's going to do well. Obviously, we had Gyarados go 3-1 tonight, but you know, we all know what's good, and a good, reliable, top-tier deck is always just going to go off in this kind of situation. When it does what it needs to do, it's going to do well. So thanks for watching tonight. It's been a lot of fun. We'll see you next time. And until then, be kind to yourselves, be cool, and we'll be back with you soon.